The notification pinged on my phone. $1,000 transfer to James and Marie Anderson complete. It was the 52nd such transfer I'd made this year, each one precisely timed for Monday morning, just as they'd requested. I stared at my phone screen, remembering the conversation that started it all. "Alex, we're struggling with the mortgage," Dad had said, his pride barely concealing the desperation in his voice. "Just until we get back on our feet." That was a year ago. Since then, I'd given them $52,000, no questions asked, no strings attached. Just steady support from their struggling older child who they assumed worked as a mid-level IT manager. If they only knew I'd sold my cybersecurity startup for $40 million last year. I scrolled through Instagram, pausing at my sister Katie's latest post. A selfie on a yacht, captioned "Family Vacation Time." Nothing better than luxury with the ones you love most. Red heart #blessed #family first. In the background I could see Mom and Dad beaming, their faces tanned and relaxed. My brother Mike was there too, along with his wife and kids. The whole family. Except me. I hadn't even known they were planning a vacation. My office phone buzzed. "Mr. Anderson, your 10 a.m. is here. The Microsoft acquisition team is ready." "Thank you, Clara. I'll be right there." I straightened my tie, pushing down the hurt that threatened to surface. This wasn't the first time they'd excluded me from family events. Growing up, it was always Katie the beautiful cheerleader and Mike the star athlete. I was just Alex, the quiet one who spent too much time with computers. "You need to get out more," Mom would say. "Be more like your siblings. When are you going to do something real with your life?" Dad would add. "Tech support isn't a career." They never understood that while Katie was winning homecoming queen and Mike was scoring touchdowns, I was building my first security protocol. While they were partying through college, I was laying the groundwork for what would become Anderson Security Solutions. The Microsoft team was waiting in the conference room, eager to discuss acquiring my newest security patent. As I walked in, my phone buzzed with a text from Katie. "OMG Alex. You'll never believe where we are. Daddy rented this amazing yacht for the week. Sorry you couldn't come, we figured you'd be too busy with your little computer job." Face blowing us. I muted my phone and focused on the meeting. 2 hours later, I had another $15 million deal on the table. Walking back to my office, I overheard my assistant Clara on the phone. "Yes, Mrs. Anderson, I'll let him know you called about the money transfer." "Yes, I understand it's urgent." "No, I'm not sure why it's late." I checked my watch. 11:47 a.m. The transfer was 3 hours late by our usual schedule. "Clara," I called out, "hold all my calls for the next hour." I sat at my desk looking at the family photo from last Christmas. They'd only invited me because they needed money for the property taxes. I remembered Dad pulling me aside after dinner. "Son, I know you're doing okay with your computer stuff. But your brother and sister, they have real expenses. Image to maintain, you know? We need to help them keep up appearances." I opened my banking app, my finger hovering over the transfer button. Then another Instagram notification popped up. Mike this time. Living the high life with the real family. Some people just don't fit the lifestyle. Bottle with popping cork motorboat. Something inside me snapped. I closed the banking app and opened my laptop. Time to see exactly how my weekly donations had been spent. An hour of digging revealed everything. The yacht rental, $30,000 per week. First-class flights for everyone, $25,000. Shopping sprees at designer boutiques. Expensive restaurants. All paid for with my weekly transfers, while they told me they needed the money for mortgage payments and basic expenses. My phone rang. Dad's number. "Alex, the money's late. We need it for expenses." "Like the yacht rental?" The words came out before I could stop them. Pause. "You saw the pictures? Look, son, we didn't invite you because, well, you wouldn't fit in. This is a luxury vacation and you're more basic. We didn't want you to feel uncomfortable." "Basic?" I repeated. "You mean the son who's been giving you $1,000 a week for a year?" "That's different," he said dismissively. "That's your obligation to family. But this trip, we don't want you there. You'd embarrass us in front of Katie's new society friends." I looked at my reflection in the office window, at the custom Tom Ford suit, the Patek Philippe watch, the office with a view of the city skyline. "You're right, Dad. I don't fit in. I'll stop embarrassing you immediately." "What does that mean?" "It means the weekly transfers are done. Enjoy the yacht." You can't do that. His voice rose. We have commitments. Appearances to maintain. Yes, I said quietly, you do. And in about 24 hours, you're going to regret maintaining them at my expense. I hung up and turned to my computer. Time to show my family exactly who they'd been taking for granted. The next morning I arrived at my office earlier than usual. Clara was already there, her desk covered with phone messages. Your mother called 17 times last night, she reported. Your sister Katie left 12 messages and Mike texted about 30 times. Should I keep screening them? Yes, I nodded, opening my laptop. And Clara? Remember that press release we've been holding back? She smiled knowingly. The one about Anderson's Security Solutions Microsoft deal and your upcoming Forbes cover? Consider it sent. I spent the next hour making calls, first to my accountant, then my lawyer. By 9 a.m., everything was in motion. First came the email to my parents' mortgage company, withdrawing my offer to pay off their house. Next, I contacted Katie's society friends, most of whom were actually my business associates' wives who'd been asked to humor her. One quick group text ended that charade. My phone buzzed continuously with family messages. Katie, Daddy says you're being difficult about the money. Don't be jealous just because we have a certain lifestyle to maintain. Mike, bro, you can't cut them off. How am I supposed to make the payments on my new BMW? Mom, Alex honey, you're overreacting. We didn't invite you because we love you. We didn't want you to feel out of place among successful people. I ignored them all, focusing instead on the email from Forbes. They wanted to move up the cover story. Tech's hidden billionaire. How Alex Anderson built a cybersecurity empire. The story would detail everything: the $40 million startup sale, the Microsoft deal, my net worth approaching $1 billion. More importantly, it would expose the truth about the quiet IT manager who'd been secretly supporting his status-obsessed family. Clara's voice came through the intercom. Mr. Anderson? Your father's in the lobby. He's making a scene. I switched on the security feed. Dad was there in his country club outfit, face red as he demanded to see me. Send him up, I said. And Clara, make sure the Forbes magazine mock-up is visible on my desk. Minutes later, Dad burst into my office, then stopped short. His eyes darted from the floor-to-ceiling windows to the elegant furnishings, finally landing on the magazine cover proof on my desk. What is this place? He stammered. My office, I replied calmly. The real one, not the IT department cubicle you assumed I worked in. He picked up the Forbes magazine proof, his hands shaking. This is a joke. You're a tech support guy. No, Dad. I'm the CEO and founder of Anderson Security Solutions, the company that just sold a patent to Microsoft for $15 million. He sank into a chair, the magazine falling from his grip. But the money we asked for, the $1,000 a week, was pocket change, I finished. I gave it to you because you're family. Because I thought that despite everything, despite all the years of dismissal and exclusion, family meant something. Of course family means something, he protested. Why do you think we push you to be better? We just want dash. Want what? I interrupted. Want me to be more like Katie, who's been lying about her social connections? Or like Mike, who's been using my money to pretend he's successful? That's different. They have an image to maintain. And now they can maintain it without my help. I handed him a folder. These are documents showing every penny I've given this family over the past year. The mortgage payments, Katie's fake socialite lifestyle, Mike's leased luxury cars, all paid for by your basic son's tech support job. The color drained from his face as he read. This is impossible. The Forbes article comes out tomorrow, I continued. Everyone will know exactly who's been funding the Anderson family's luxurious lifestyle. And more importantly, they'll know how you treated the son who supported you. You can't embarrass us like this. Actually, I can. And you know what's interesting? While you were all enjoying that yacht, I was closing deals that would have set the entire family up for life. I was going to announce everything at a family dinner, buy Mom and Dad their dream house, set up trust funds for Mike's kids, give Katie the social status she desperately craves. Dad's eyes widened. The money's still there, I said quietly. But now it's going to the Alex Anderson Foundation for Tech Education. Helping kids who, like me, get dismissed and underestimated by their own families. But what about the yacht rental? The credit card bills? I smiled coldly. I'm sure Katie's new society friends will be happy to help. Oh wait, they all just got texts explaining who she really is. As if on cue, my phone buzzed with a news alert. Tech billionaire Alex Anderson's family caught in social scandal. Dad's phone started ringing, probably Mom, realizing their credit cards had been declined. Get out of my office, I said calmly. Go back to your yacht. Enjoy explaining to everyone how you excluded your billionaire son because he was too basic for your lifestyle. The next 24 hours unfolded exactly as I'd planned. The Forbes article hit online first, spreading through social media like wildfire. My family's carefully constructed facade crumbled in real time. Katie's Instagram followers watched her society friends publicly unfollow and block her. Mike's business associates discovered his luxury cars and expensive suits were all funded by his basic brother. Mom and Dad's country club friends learned that their prestigious lifestyle was built on handouts from the son they dismissed. I watched it all from my penthouse office, feeling surprisingly empty. Claire kept me updated on the fallout. Your sister's been asked to resign from 3 charity boards, she reported. Apparently, they don't appreciate being misled about her social connections and financial status. And Mike. His dealership is demanding full payment for the BMW. His wife's family is not happy about discovering their daughter married someone who pretended to be wealthy. I nodded, turning to look at the city skyline. On my desk, a new frame held Uncle Peter's last letter to me. He'd been the only one who believed in me, who'd given me the seed money for my first startup. They'll see your worth someday, he'd written. Just make sure it's on your terms. My phone buzzed, Mom calling for the 100th time. This time I answered. Alex, please, she sobbed. The yacht company is demanding immediate payment. The credit cards aren't working. We're stranded. Interesting feeling, isn't it? I kept my voice neutral. Being stranded, feeling helpless, depending on family who doesn't respond? We're your parents. You can't do this to us. Like you couldn't invite your son on a family vacation? Even after he gave you $52,000 in a year. That was different. We didn't want to make you uncomfortable. No, I cut her off. You didn't want to be uncomfortable. Having your basic son around might have revealed the truth, that your entire lifestyle depended on his generosity. What do you want from us? Her voice turned calculating. An apology? Fine, we're sorry. Now help us out of this mess. I looked at Uncle Peter's letter again. What I wanted was family. What I got was people who saw me as an ATM but considered me too embarrassing to vacation with. But the Forbes article, you're successful now. We can be proud of you. That's the problem, Mom. You're only proud now that it's public. When you thought I was just a hard-working IT manager helping his family, I wasn't good enough to include. I heard Dad in the background, probably panicking about the mounting yacht rental fees. The foundation will pay for your flights home, I said finally. Economy class. After that, you're on your own. Economy. Mom gasped. But what will people think? They'll think you're exactly what you are, people who valued appearances over family and got exactly what they deserved. After hanging up, I opened my email to find dozens of messages from relatives I hadn't heard from in years. Cousins who'd mocked my career choice were now LinkedIn connections. Aunts and uncles who'd ignored me at family gatherings were suddenly proud of their successful nephew. Clara entered with afternoon reports. Sir, the Foundation's first scholarship applications are ready for review. And, your brother's wife is here. I was surprised to see Lisa, Mike's wife, looking uncomfortable in my reception area. Unlike the rest of the family, she'd always been kind to me. Alex, she twisted her wedding ring nervously, I didn't know. About the money, about how they treated you. Mike told me he was successful in real estate. You're not responsible for their actions, Lisa. The kids' private school tuition is due, she said quietly. I know we don't deserve your help, but they shouldn't suffer for their parents' mistakes. I thought about my niece and nephew, how they'd always run to hug their weird Uncle Alex, despite their parents' dismissal. The foundation will create education trusts for them, I decided. Managed by you, not Mike. They deserve a chance to be better than their father. Thank you, she whispered. And Alex, I'm sorry we didn't stand up for you sooner. After she left, I spent hours reviewing scholarship applications for the foundation. Kids like I had been brilliant, dedicated, but underestimated by those who should have supported them most. A week later, I received a letter from Katie. Her designer stationery was replaced by plain paper. Dear Alex, pride comes before a fall. That's what Mom always said, usually about other people. I never thought it would apply to us. I've lost everything: my social status, my friends, if they were ever really friends, my self-respect. But you know what hurts most? Realizing how we hurt you. Year after year, dismissing your achievements, taking your help while excluding you from our lives. You had every right to expose us. I'm starting over. Got a real job, a small apartment. For the first time, I'm earning my own way. I don't expect forgiveness, but I hope someday you'll let me try to be the sister you deserved. Katie. I placed her letter next to Uncle Peter's. Maybe some good could come from all this after all. The foundation's first scholarship ceremony was held a month later. Watching those kids receive their opportunities for education and technology, I finally felt peace. My family had wanted me to fit their image of success. Instead, I'd created my own definition, one that measured wealth not in yacht rentals and country club memberships, but in lives changed and opportunities created. Mom and Dad still call sometimes, usually when bills are due. Katie's working her way up honestly at a tech company. Mike and Lisa separated, she's raising the kids with support from the Education Trust. The extended family's lavish reunions have been replaced by more modest gatherings, though I haven't attended yet. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about hurting those who hurt you. It's about building something meaningful from the pain they caused. Every scholarship awarded, every student given a chance to pursue their dreams in technology, is a testament to what can grow from rejection and underestimation. Uncle Peter was right, they finally saw my worth, but on my terms. And those terms turned out to be worth far more than a week on a yacht they couldn't afford.